Happy Monday on a nice little 4-1 run. Let's talk some more seam. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven. Hope you guys all had a great weekend. We are back with the Monday Blues. I know some of you guys already saw on X. It was my daughter's 6th birthday, and so we had a great weekend. I don't know where the time is going, but it's going too fast. I'll tell you that. But either way, small profitable weekend thanks to a 4-1 Saturday and Sunday. We'll go over that recap in just a little bit. But quick announcement, Dinger Tuesday is back. That's right. It won't be this video, obviously, because this is the Monday games. But be sure to check out our late Monday night video for Tuesday's slate. And we're going to have, I'll give you guys the rules again on how to win. And we'll have, cold hard cash, free month of Outlier. I'll figure out some prizes, but we'll have some fun. We'll bring it back. So, of course, Outlier. Any graphics you see are from that app. It is the best betting research tool in the market, on the market today. I use this every single day. All you got to do is click the link below and you get a 7-day free trial. So, let's get into it. You'll see a mixture of dad jokes, fun facts, whatever it is I find. And today is a dad joke. So here we go. Do you know there are more airplanes in the ocean than submarines in the air? But that's plain to see. Yep. Okay. In this video, we're going to recap the weekend, and then we're going to go over the good and bad hitter matchups. And then because we do this every other Monday, we're going to talk the aces of bases, the total bases leaders in the last 15 days, and then we'll give you the good pitcher strikeout matchups, the entire pitcher report, which is just 7 games today, and then of course we'll wrap it all up with our best bets and the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow as we are getting oh so close to 40,000 subscribers. Crazy to say out loud. Appreciate every single one of you. And also, if you want to join that Discord, click that link below in the description, and it's completely free to join. We talk sports every single day. So let's get it rolling, and that means it's recap time. All right, here is the weekend recap. Friday was the only losing day. We went 2-3, and you know why? It's because I had the honor of ending a man's 20-game hit streak. Jose Ramirez, that sucked. Goldie got a hit. I think he had a home run and maybe more, but Ramirez didn't get it done. I'm telling you guys, I have ended so many good hit streaks on these hitter parlays. It's wild. But either way, Marlins first 5 innings money line, they had some chances. They didn't give up a lot of runs, but they just didn't score any. Literally 0 in the first 5 innings. So again, plus 136 underdog winner, or tried to take a shot there. Didn't work out. D-backs team total over 4.5, got the job done. And then Lucas Giolito under 17.5 outs. That was a very easy winner. But Liberatore over 17.5 outs. He was facing the terrible Rangers offense, and they tore him up. It was just a bad read. Liberatore had his worst start of the year, and we happened to be on it, unfortunately. So that happens. But then Saturday, we go 2-0. Giants team total under 4.5. How about scoring 0? Again, they struggled to hit on the road. They scored 0. Atlanta and Arizona team totals over 3.5 each. They got the job done as well, pretty easily as well also. So, and then we go to Sunday. This is I should be grateful because we went 4-1 over Saturday and Sunday, but Weathers Bubich K's parlay, easy winner there. Castillo under 6.5 Ks, ended with 5, pretty easy winner there. But here's the one that's just gnawing at me. The team total parlay that we had. It was I don't have it written obviously here, but the Guardians over 2.5, easy cash. We had the Diamondbacks yet again over 3.5. Okay, they get 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning. And against the Nationals and Mitchell Parker and their bullpen, they never, ever, ever, ever scored again. And they ended on 3. I needed 4. That's just wild to me. I thought, okay, here they go. They're going to score 10 today after that first inning. Nope, that was it. So anyways, I just upset because I wanted that 3-0 sweep, but still profitable Saturday and Sunday. So there it is, weekend record 6-4. We won 0.58 units. We're always seem to be under a unit one way or the other over the weekend, but overall record 144, 141, down 2.2 units on the season. There's the breakdown of everything, but that's what we got for the weekend recap. Now let's talk some hitters. All right, we have 9 good hitter matchups, and a ton of them are from the Padres. That's right. Manny Machado, 13 for 35 off Logan Webb. Luis Arias, 8 for 13. Gavin Sheets, 5 for 10 off Logan Webb. Wade, 4 for 10 off Logan Webb. It's just wild. And then over there on the right side, Jackson Merrill, 5 for 7. I mean, they have hit him very well. At least those hitters have. Take that for what it is, because the Padres overall as an offense absolutely have stunk up the joint in the last month or so. But Shohei Ohtani, you see up there, 4 for 9 off Paul Blackburn. Rafael Devers, 4 for 7. And then a couple lefties for the Tigers against Cannon. Keith, 4 for 7. And Kerry Carpenter, 4 for 7. 3 extra base hits. And 2 of those are for a bomb. So that's what we got for the good hitter matchups. Now let's take a look at the bad hitter matchups. And we got 2 in their Padres. Fernando Tatis, if you guys follow me on X, you saw I made a post about Tatis today. Just not being talked about how much he is struggling. He was horrendous in the month of May. He will probably come back. He's a stud. We know that. But he's 5 for 26 with 6 Ks off Webb. And then Diaz, also of the Padres, 3 for 24 with 5 Ks off Logan Webb. Obviously, a ton of history between the Padres and Logan Webb being in the NL West. So that's what we got for the good and bad hitter matchups. Now let's talk the aces of bases. All right, here is page 1 of the leaders for total bases in the last 15 days. And number 1, guys, is one of the best hitters, definitely the best hitting catcher in the major leagues. Does not get talked about enough. I don't know if he's tied for the lead or leads the league in home runs. He has been unbelievable this year for my Seattle Mariners. 42 total bases now in the last 15 days. The rookie Junior Caminero, how about 39? And then some other guys that we are just used to seeing. Taylor Ward's been up here a couple times, but Aaron Judge, Jose Ramirez, Seiya Suzuki, who I think is still leading the league in RBIs. And then Yelich, who's questionable to play, actually. But then Altuve, Butler, and Brandon Lowe all over 30 bases. So that's what we got for page 1. Now let's take a look at page 2. Shohei Ohtani, not a surprise there. We've talked about Ryan Hearn also, who's been hitting the ball well. Schwarber and Trey Turner, a couple Phillies there at 31. Jacob Wilson, a rookie who is, like I've talked about, he high average, hitting for some power lately. He's just a hitting machine is what he is. And then James Wood of the Nationals, leading up to Sunday, they had scored like 9 or more runs in 3 or 4 straight games. Didn't happen Sunday, but that offense has been rolling. And then Ellie De La Cruz, who just dealt with a brutal family death in the family, and then he hits a home run for her on Sunday. That was cool to see. He has 30 bases, been hitting the ball well. Rafael Devers, and then we end it with a 3-way tie there at 29 with a couple Astros players. So that's what we got. Again, hopefully these help. Leave a comment below if these help you. If you're a big total bases guy, maybe it just tells you who's been hitting for a lot of power, just who's been hitting well in general. But that's what we got for the aces of bases. Now, let's talk some Ks. All right, here we go. We got one good pitcher strikeout matchup, but we're going to talk about some other top K pitchers today on the smaller slate as well. First one, Joe Ryan at the Athletics. A's, 9th highest K percentage versus righties last 3 weeks, 22.8%. They've gone up a little bit because they were near the bottom, and they were a tough matchup for pitchers. And then Ryan, 72 Ks in 63 innings this season. He only has 4 or 5 Ks in his last 2 starts versus the Rays and Cleveland. All the Rays have been swinging the bat well. But he did have 7 or more Ks in 5 of his previous 6 starts. So just kind of want to let you know, cooled off a little in the last 2, but for the most part, he's been solid. Lower K rate on the road, though, 26.3% compared to 34.3% at home. Obviously, he's on the road here in the minor league park. Much higher K rate versus righties, 38.4% compared to 20.5% versus lefties. So obviously, the main question there is, can you trust a guy with 2 first names? It's just one of those, it's a really big question every day. But either way, other top K pitchers. Now, these are not great matchups, but I wanted to mention it to you in case you're wondering. Jack Flaherty, high strikeout pitcher. We know that, even though he struggled this year. Facing the White Sox, Chicago, 16th highest K rate versus righties last 3 weeks, 21.5% about average. That's why I didn't include it. But Flaherty did have 7 Ks in 5.2 innings against this White Sox team on April 4th. And then Logan Webb versus the Padres, which we've talked about a little bit of their hitters and the matchups. Padres, as you guys know, even though they're struggling, they do not strike out a lot. 3rd lowest K rate versus righties last 3 weeks, only 18%. Webb had 6 Ks in 5 innings, though, against the Padres on April 29th. Just a reminder, Logan Webb, and it doesn't mean it's going to happen all year. He has had a much higher K rate on the road, and he will be home here. Dustin May, holy smokes, Carrot Top. The Mets have the 11th highest K rate versus righties the last 3 weeks. I was close to adding this, honestly, 22.4%. And the reason is because May, to start the year, was just not a good strikeout pitcher at all. I've taken over his Ks, and he just wasn't missing a lot of bats. He has absolutely turned his stuff up lately. 8, 8, and 9 Ks in the last 3 starts. So, anyways, that's all the info for the pitcher strikeouts. Hopefully this helps you get some winners. But now, let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, we have just 7 matchups today, and we start with a beauty. The Rockies at the Marlins. That's right. Don't go to work. Don't do anything. We must watch this game. But no, really, German Marquez versus Max Meyer. Marquez, after getting crushed all year, and I made fun of him, he's been horrendous. Just in the last 2 starts, how about just 3 total earned runs allowed versus the Phillies and the Cubs over 13 innings? So, did he find something? I don't know. Is he getting just lucky and that's just baseball? Maybe, and he goes back to getting crushed. But just want to point that out. Last 2 starts have been better for him. Max Meyer struggled again in his last start. 7 hits and 4 earned runs allowed in just 3.1 innings to that struggling Padres offense. So, I don't know what happened to him, but he had a great April, and then it's just been a struggle since then. And then Tyler Anderson versus Dick Fitz in Boston. Made 4 starts this season, Mr. Fitz. 0 earned runs in the last 2 starts. One recent start, and then the one before that wasn't until April 12th. It's kind of hard to get an idea on him. And in his last start, he only threw 44 pitches, so not expecting him to go deep into this game. Anderson, a guy who just doesn't miss bats, but still somehow limits runs, keeps his ERA under 4. And then Aaron Savali versus Brady Singer. Savali just 3 starts so far, giving up 5.2 and 1 earned run. He did have a 4.36 ERA last year over 161 innings with a high 1.629 or 1.62 home runs per 9 innings. As you can see, he's already given up home runs in his 12 innings so far. So he's a guy you can hit some bombs off of. And then Brady Singer, decent in his last start versus old team in Kansas City, but it has not been a great season. In fact, in the month of May, a 6.39 ERA for Singer. And then Jack Flaherty versus Jonathan Cannon. Flaherty, his ground ball rate is way down, but his Ks are still there from last year. His walk rate is up 2% from last season, so it hasn't been great. I mean, a 4.5 expected ERA is just not great for Mr. Flaherty and what we're used to seeing from him. Giving up a few more bombs, obviously, with that ground ball rate going down. And then Jonathan Cannon, this is crazy to me. 6 of his last 7 starts have been on the road. He's finally home. He's actually only pitched at home 3 times this year in his 11 starts. So, I mean, it's been good so far at home for him. We'll see if that continues, but it's hard to get home road splits when you just barely pitch at home. And then Steven Kolick is just not a good pitcher for the Padres. He's given up 14 earned runs in his last 3 starts over 16.1 innings, so almost 1 run per inning with 21 hits allowed as well. Just not pretty. And he's going up against the man, the myth, the legend, Logan Webb, elite ground ball pitcher, as most of you guys know. And he's actually been getting hit quite a bit lately. 17 hits in his last 10 innings versus the Royals and the Tigers. But still, we know he's a stud. And then we got Joe Ryan, as I lose my voice here. Joe Ryan of the Twinkies. He's one of the best whips in the league. I mean, he just does not allow many base runners. 0.83 whip. I mean, that is impressive. Elite control, as most of you guys know, 3.7% walk rate. He's given up 2 or less earned runs in 9 of his 11 starts. And then Luis Severino, the guy that you just leave scratching your head. You don't know what to think. He is absolutely horrendous at home. A 6.2 ERA. But on the road, how about a less than 1 ERA? One of the best pitchers in the majors on the road, like we've talked about. Just insane splits. He's at home. We'll see if he can turn it around and figure it out. And then we got Paul Blackburn of the Mets. He's making his first start of the year. 4.66 ERA with a low 18.7% K rate and 6.6% walk rate last season in 75 innings, in case you guys are curious. And going up against Carrot Top. And I've told you about Carrot Top already. He's going way up with the 9, 8, and 8 in the last 3 games. That was against Cleveland, Arizona, and the Angels. But before that, he had 6 or less Ks in 7 straight starts. So he's just been pitching better overall. So that's what we got for the entire 7-game pitcher report with all the averages on the bottom to help you out. But hopefully this helps you get some winners. But now it is finally time for the best bets. All right, this first best bet is an alt team total parlay. Minus 126 on DraftKings, half unit play. Give me the Angels team total over 2.5. Twinkies team total over 3.5. Let's get another winner here. We've had some success doing these alt team total parlays. Just real quick, both games have 9.5 totals, or at least around there, with great hitting conditions. So you'd love to see that. But let's start out with the Angels team total over 2.5. This team's been swinging it much better the last few weeks. Most of you guys know that, especially on the road. Holy cow. In the last 10 road games, as you can see by this outlier screenshot, how about over this line in 9 of 10 road games? That means just 3+ runs, averaging 6.5 runs per game in the last 10 on the road. Last 3 weeks versus righties, how about 14th in WRC plus and slugging? Pretty respectable there. And they got some power bats. I mean, they're 10th in slugging, 8th in ISO power, so that's their advantage right here. Since May 1st on the road versus righties, the second best WRC plus in the league. I mean, they got Mike Trout back. I think he just sat on Sunday. He should be good to go here. Second highest slugging, OPS, and ISO power since May 1st. Again, this is versus right-handers on the road. They've hit the most home runs in the major leagues versus righties on the road since May 1st. That's crazy to me. And now they're facing Dick Fitz. That's right. He's only pitched once since April 12th, so not a ton to go off of. He went 3 innings, only 44 pitches. I'm not expecting him to go super deep here, but low K rate as well. Not a guy who misses bats. Nothing special in the 20 innings he's thrown. In his first 2 starts of the year, he did give up 6 earned runs in 12 innings versus a struggling Toronto and Texas lineups. So, again, it's hard to go off of what we've seen, but it's just nothing special. He's not blowing away guys. He's not getting a ton of chase and whiff and all that. Red Sox bullpen just used Chapman and Weissert yesterday. Both might still be available. I'm just not a big fan of this bullpen in general. Great weather, high total. I just need 3 runs. That's right. So give me the Angels to score 3. Second one, give me the Twins to score 4+ runs. That's right, over 3.5. Again, another game with great hitting conditions. This offense has been a little bit hit and miss, but there's a reason their real team total right now is 4.5, heavily juiced to the over. Other than the weather, they're facing one of the worst home starting pitchers in the league. We've talked about it before. Luis Severino at home. It is unbelievable. 6.2 ERA at home with a 274 average against. On the road, 0.87. It's wild to me. It kind of, I mean, it doesn't make sense, but you can kind of see it when you're playing in a minor league ballpark with great weather, wind blowing out a lot of the times. So he's only given up 4 home runs all season. All 4 have been at home. He gave up just 2 earned runs in his last home start, but before that, it was 8 to the Yankees, 4 to the Mariners, 3 to the White Sox, 20 hits allowed in those 16 innings. And now he faces a Twins offense. They're a lot like the Angels. They hit for a lot of power on the road versus righties. Only one less home run than the Angels with 18. So they're tied for second with the most home runs versus righties on the road since May 1st. 11th highest WRC plus on the road versus righties. 7th highest slugging. 10th highest ISO power. 8th lowest K rate. It's been good. I mean, they just scored 17 runs against my Seattle Mariners in T-Mobile Park over the weekend. With great hitting conditions here, I like the Twins to get 4+. So give me the Angels team total over 2.5, Twins over 3.5, and that is my first best bet. This second one takes us out to Cincinnati, where the Reds host the Milwaukee Brewers. Reds moneyline -120, Brewers moneyline +100 with a total of 9 runs. Before I get into this one, I just want to let you guys know, if you can't tell already, 7-game slate, and it is absolutely ugly. So I'm just going to give you guys 2 best bets right now. Probably have at least 1 added play still in the morning. I'm not going to force 3 bets on the night before right now. It's just it's kind of ugly out there. But anyways, the Brew Crew, yes, we know they're on a heater. 7-game winning streak, we get it. I'm going to just do the first 5 innings. So give me the Reds first 5 innings money line, -120 on Bet365 for a half unit. I'm going to stay away from the bullpens, and I'm going to stay away from just this Brewers team. When you get a team on a hot streak, sometimes they find ways to win at the end of games. I'm going to stick to the first 5. So let's talk starting pitcher matchup here. Aaron Savali versus Brady Singer. Savali, we talked about him earlier. He gives up a lot of home runs. He did it last year, and he's already given up 4 home runs in 12 innings this year. That is no bueno. He's now going to be pitching in a tiny ballpark, and it's going to be a bad matchup for a fly ball home run pitcher like him. In his only 2 road starts this year, he gave up a combined 7 earned runs in 7 innings. He's not a very good pitcher. Let's face it. I just really don't think he has. Never really have in the last few years thought he was a good pitcher. Brady Singer, he isn't an awesome pitcher either. I'll say that, but he has the advantage here. He's also pitched much better at home in 27.1 innings at home, a 3.29 ERA with an insane 151 average against, a low 1.02 whip. You love to see those numbers. Now, he is due for a bit of negative regression at home, and you see some xFIP numbers and things like that. He is due, that's for sure. But so far, he's got the job done in Cincinnati. 4 of his last 5 starts have been on the road, so it's been a little tougher stretch for him. He's now back home. He's given up 3 earned runs or less in 3 straight starts, which I believe all 3 were on the road. He's given up more powers to lefties. Not ideal, but it is okay in this matchup because the Brewers, yes, Christian Yelich is power, but guess what? He left the game early with an injury on Sunday. I doubt he plays in this one. I bet you they at least give him a day off unless it's even worse. The only lefties you're really worried about here in this Brewers lineup is Bryce Terang, Sal Frelick. That might be the only decent lefty bat, so I think it's a good matchup here. And then you look at the offenses. Cincy, streaky offense. We know that. They have screwed me before, but they're swinging it well lately. Last 3 weeks versus righties, 9th highest WRC plus, 5th highest slugging, and ISO power with the 10th highest walk rate. So we're getting a team that's hitting really well for power versus a guy in Savali who loves to give up power, especially in Cincinnati. It's a good matchup. Brewers crushed a few lefties lately in the Phillies when they just swept the Phillies. But it's a righty-heavy lineup. They have not been as successful versus righties. Last 3 weeks versus righties, 23rd WRC plus, 25th in slugging and ISO power. Overall, we just get Singer, who's been better at home. Reds are the better offense versus righties. Brewers maybe without Yelich as well. And again, guys, if it's 1-1, 2-2 after 5 innings, it's a push, it's a void. We just move on, no loss. So I like this one. Give me the Reds first 5 inning money line as my second and final best bet. Again, any added plays will be in the pinned comments below. But before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. The 2 best bets so far. Alternate team total parlay. Give me the Angels over 2.5 and the Twinkies over 3.5. That's my first best bet for a half unit. And then the Reds first 5 innings on the money line, not run line. So if it's a tie after 5 innings, still just a push. That's a half unit, -120 on Bet365. That's what we got for today so far. We're going to probably have at least one more added play in the pinned comments below. But like I said, it's just an ugly 7-game slate. So just tread carefully out there. But thank you guys for watching. As always, hit that like button if you haven't already. But Hope you have a great Monday, and we'll talk to you soon.